Okay, so today we're going to talk about spring, about this season, and why it's so important to get in line with that season on all kinds of levels. And how do we keep our energy alive and vibrant and healthy in the time of spring? So this is Chi Talk, and my name is Eli Cohen. I'm a medical Qigong practitioner and energy healing coach, and I'm really excited to share this information, these Chi Talk, and thank you so much for joining me. You're looking great wherever you are sitting. Marty, Edward, Corinne, thank you so much for joining. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this. And for anybody that wants to understand, that practice Qigong or involved in any healing energy practices, this is a great place to kind of expand knowledge and just engage with the knowledge of energy medicine, Chinese medicine, and Qigong. So I'm really glad you're here. And we are in the spring. And the spring is associated with the organ of the liver. So I thought we're going to start our ceremony or our meditation with one of the Qigong traditions for how to harmonize liver qi. And we're going to talk about this organ. We're going to talk about what it means. But as we start, I want you to kind of take your hands and put them on the rib cage, on the side of the rib cage, on the right side of the rib cage. If they're cold, you can warm your hand a little bit before. Yeah, I know that it's still cold here, especially in Northern California. Not too cold, but your hands can be cold. So let's put the hands on the side of the rib cage and close your eyes. And move your qi to the area of the liver. When I say move your qi, I mean move your attention and move your breath and move the quality of your qi, which is your love, your appreciation. And with each breath you're taking, see that breath penetrating the liver. So you can just visualize the organ here underneath the right side of the rib cage. The liver is one of the biggest organs in the body. It has many important jobs. So every breath you take in, you can visualize right here at the liver like a garden full of flowers. And the breath comes like a drip system, an irrigation that water the garden. Visualizations are just a tool to engage you with the qi. So with the attention, a very beautiful garden inside of you and liver. With each inhalation, you're bringing more nutrition to this garden. And when you exhale, you just let all the weeds come out. It just becomes really vibrant. When you exhale from the mouth. And as we go through this, we're going to involve sound healing for the liver. Now, the liver is also connected with the blood very strongly, with the heart and with the digestive system. It cleans the blood and it detoxifies our body from toxins, yeah? So as we exhale, we're going to make the sound of SH, like shh, like be quiet. Yeah, so we inhale and we exhale with the sound of shh. And as you make the sound, just visualize that forest, that garden that you have inside of you, There's like a wind going through the forest. And this is the sound of the wind. It's a very gentle breeze. And that breeze clear out the forest from debris and makes it glowing even more. So every time you exhale, that wind, that beautiful breeze clears up the forest inside of your liver. You know how the sound of the wind blowing through the trees make that similar sound. So on one hand, the breath irrigates it, the forest, and on the other side, the exhalation clear it out. And you make it in a whisper. The sound is in a whisper. And each time you make the sound again, you go a little bit quieter. A little quieter with the SH. Until there's no sound. Until you just think about making the sound, but you don't hear it. Irrigate on the inhale. See how soft the whisper can be until at some point you don't hear it at all. It feels right to pause and pause and just look at the liver, vibrant, open, glowing. Feel the gratitude you have to this organ. These organs are like our kids. They need love, appreciation to work well. Nice. So let's relax the hands down. You can open the eyes. Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful. So this is a sound for the liver. And the springtime is associated with the liver. What does that mean? It means that we need to take care of this organ in this season because it's more sensitive. It's more sensitive. It's more active. The energy goes there. So there's some issues that can happen with it. So that's why we always shift organs in each season, and the season of the spring is, a lot of people, from what I know, working with people, helping people heal. I know that a lot of people feeling a lot of health issues coming in the spring specifically. And, there's a reason for it. There's a big shift from a very yin energy in the winter and to a yang energy in the spring. This is the time where the plants coming out of the ground. So it's a very young type of activity. We say that the blade of grass can penetrate through the soil, through concrete. The blade of grass penetrate through the concrete. It's such a strong action, but if you touch this grass, it's very flexible, right? When you touch these plants that's coming out of the ground, even though the action is so strong, they're very soft. Yeah, and they have a lot of the water in them, the water from the rain. And this is really what we want to what kind of like we want to reflect into our self. So in the springtime, it's time to be more physically active, more directional with what we do. It's very important to be physically active. It's very important to have goals, and at the same time, it's as important to be soft and malleable and relaxed, to be able to shift your view, or to shift, whenever life brings you something, to not to be stiff. Yeah, stiffness is not good for liver, and this, there's tendency, a lot of people in the spring have problem with stiff joints, and one more thing that associated with the spring is aches and pains and joint issues, headaches, migraines, and eye problem with the eyes. Any problem with eyesight or with the eyes would come in the spring, because the liver opens to the eyesight, to the eyes. And that's what we talk also, and that's physically. But the spiritually, we're talking about the inner vision, the vision. How clear is our vision? Yeah, so if the liver is not healthy, it's going to be very hard to have clarity towards our goal, toward what we want to have in the future. Yeah, so working towards our goal, clearing our mind, using qigong meditations to relax and to bring ourselves kind of like a mental clarity into our inner vision, that would actually healing also eyesight. So that's something that that is very important in the spring. Working on vision, working on goal, being very directional, kind of like the trees growing towards towards the sun. Sorry, the trees growing towards the sun. It's a very arrow-like action. It's a very strong action towards a specific goal, but keep very relaxed. Yeah, so the ability to be very soft. You probably know this story about the tree that was very strong, and the wind came and blew him over, but the grass did not was okay. The grass was very thin, and it just bent over, and the wind didn't do anything to the grass, but the tree that was really strong was also very stiff, kind of fell over. So the stiffness is sometimes it's in our mind, in our opinions. People that are not adaptable to change. How can we see things from different perspectives? How can we be malleable to what comes our way? How can we shift our perspective, our vision? That's kind of like the energy of the liver, and the ability of the liver to exercise that would be good for liver chi as well. The spiritual or the energetical stiffness also relates to the physical stiffness, because the liver, we say in traditional Chinese medicine, it supports the ligaments and tendons and sinuous. So all the sinuous in the body, which is it's ligaments, tendons, and cartilages. So all these three things called sinuous in one word, and they all are governed by the liver. So problems in the liver would have problems in the joints, in these. Problem with tendons, with ligaments would be that. So it's as important to be gradually physically more active and project outwards, and giving, helping others, being less occupied with oneself, but also So all the direction is more young, is more going outwards. Yeah, projecting to the future, being more active physically, mentally, and also energetically, giving things away, to a goal that we like, or to help somebody. um, that would actually be very healthy for the liver. To be generous, that would nourish liver chi. So that's on an emotional perspective. Yeah. So if you think about the stiffness, the opinionated, thinking about only me, that's very opposite. Yeah. So that would actually not be good for liver chi. Yeah. Good liver chi would be generosity, gentleness, softness, and so this is really what this season is about. How can we embody these principles on a physical level? Our classes, starting from today, starting from the spring, would be more about lubricating the joints. Very interesting. Yeah, there's all kinds of sequences in Qigong that really works on the joints and the connective tissues. And this is what we're more doing in our online class. So join classes if you want to heal your joints, or want to know some kind of cool exercises for these. and and also working on vision, in the classes, working on like goals, what we want to, where we want to go, where do we want to spend our energy. Yeah. So we're not scattered and not muddy with our mind. So mental clarity, and also choosing. So if you have if you're a person that has a hard time to make decisions, you always ask, should I buy this jacket or this jacket? These people that are like undecisive. So that that is related to gallbladder, which is the pair organ of the liver. So indecisiveness is considered to be a gallbladder issue, which is related to liver as well. And there's people that know exactly what they want. Yeah. So the liver types, people that are more liver, remember we talked about people that are more lung, and you kind of like this archetype. I think somebody mentioned that. So the people that are more liver type, they're more young people in nature, that they would be more goal oriented, achievers. Yeah. People that go on excursion to discover, to experiment, to do new things, are usually people that are driven by the liver, by courage, by going forward. Pioneers, people that conquer new land, are going to be competitive people that always like tell you, oh, look, can we compete? Can I show you how I, people that like competition. Yeah, so the people that are achievers, people that are pioneers, people that have strong goals, and they're always on the go. They like to get things done. So these are people that are very kind of like A-type people, if you will. These is very strong liver chi. Yeah, it could be problem with that. If a person is too much liver, then it becomes the direction is too strong. Then you become very angry if your way is not being met. So too much competitiveness, too much liver chi can also cause problem. Yeah, it's always be imbalanced. So people that are like very, very depressed when they didn't win the game. Yeah, they're so competitive and they didn't get it. They're like they really suffer a lot. So strong downside to colonialism, of course. Okay, somebody said that on the chat. Yeah, colonialism is definitely a liver, kind of conquering new land, going, discovering. Yeah, that's liver chi. So Yeah. So are you a liver type? We know people that are liver type, right? So that would be now in terms of again, our practice is about is more about flexibility, is more active. The qigong in the spring would be a little bit more active physically and a little bit more about flexibility of the body, and it would also take chi out of the upper area, the eyes and the head, because what happened with the chi stagnation, where the chi is not liver, what we call the chi rise to the head and then cause problem in the eyes and the head. So that's why a lot of time in the spring people have migraines or problem with the eyes. So we clear that in the qigong for the spring. We also have a movement to clear the heat from the head. Think that a person that is angry, or what we call it, hot-headed, right? The chi rise, the liver chi rise to the head. So hot-headed people are people that are angry or moody or stressed. The chi rise up. Yeah. When you stress, you're breathing to the chest. You're not bringing to the belly anymore. You're breathing up, 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 and all the energy goes up here. So stress would be, really not complementing the liver chi. Actually, stress is what the liver treat. The liver is controlling the smoothness of qi in the body. This is from the book, Chinese Medicine. The smoothness of the qi. When the emotions are not smooth, when the emotions are negative emotion, that creates unsmooth qi. So the liver constantly trying to smooth out the. So if you're stressed, you're really taxing your liver first. That's what we said last time. The two organs that are participating in emotional agitation is liver and heart. So that's why we say be more active, but be also relaxed, not tense. How can we be physically active without tensing? How can we be physically active? And so this is the time to really reduce stress and do qigong. So stress is definitely taxing the liver and the heart. So I think this is, so we talked about the liver type also. Yeah, and people that are lack liver type, right? So whenever the energy in the universe is so strong, why is it important in the spring to do all these things? To begin with, it's because the energy is very strong outside of us, and we are a mirror of the outside world. Can you imagine in the winter you're going to go out with sandals and flip-flops? You're going to get a cold. You're going to, especially in the fall when the wind is on and it's getting cooler, everybody's getting sick, right? So you want to match yourself with the outside, because there's always an energetic reflection of the outside in. So whenever the spring comes, the days change, the hours of the days change, the plants come out of the earth. That strong energy is also inside of you. If you don't have a direction to it, it would create what we call the liver chi stagnation, and that would create havoc in the body. So what we want in the spring is to match the energy, to be more active, to be directional with our goal, to be flexible. All these things that we talk about is important in the spring to help deliver, to help. And in terms of diet, Chinese medicine also talk about diet, which is eating more salads, more greens, anything that help the liver. Would be like a bitter taste, would increase liver bile, like dandelion or kale or things like that, can be cooked or can be fresh. I mean, we're still kind of in the cold season, so I wouldn't go like big on salads. I would go gradually. If you know this when it's really hot, like in the summer, you really want fruits in salad. Here we're shifting slowly. So also we want to be gradually being more active, gradually eating more greens. Um, so supporting your liver. Dandelion greens, milk thistle, if you're looking for supplements, very good for liver. That would be a good time to start something like that. All right. I hope that was informative. And I'll just open this conversation to everybody that has a question or wants to share something about this topic, or or any other topic, that's fine too. Yeah, Gail, go ahead. Gail, how are you doing? We gave you so much love last time. Let me just open the microphone. Why I cannot hear you? Can you speak up now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank you, Ellie, and I want to thank each and every one of you here because the love that came flooding to me opened my heart and, of course, made me tear up because we're all, in my mind, integrated like trees. They help each other. Their roots are connected. And in many ways, we're connected. And Ellie, what you teach with regard to the liver and to resilience, this is about being resilient. I can't remember the quote from Mark Twain, the survivors, those that survive are the resilient ones. And the love that came to me, I want each and every one of you to know how grateful I am. And I thank you for that love, for that heart, for that giving. And you mentioned generosity. It took 3 months for us to get a washing machine. And when the guys came, they didn't want to do certain things. I said, guess what? If you do certain thing, I give you a Google Play card because I have all of those Google Play cards that my husband went and had to get because of the computer scam. So, you turn the lemon into the lemonade. And like you say, you give. So thank you for what you give, what you educate, because the word educate means to show the way out. And you are showing us the way out of so many difficulties by going within and being resilient and moving, not being stuck. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it's good. And crying, you mentioned the debate that you teared, and actually tears also coming out from the eyes, and that's an action of the liver and actually cleansing the liver. So actually tears are in Chinese medicine really supports the liver. It's the secretion of the liver that comes through the eyes. So it's really good. So you don't have to cry all the time, but once in a while it's good. It's healthy. Thank you so much, Gail. Yeah, I was moved by this last time, and thank you for saying all of that. So, all right. Anybody else wants to say something? Yeah, Peter, go ahead.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you. Uh-huh.
Okay. I just kind of want to piggyback on what Gail said. This about resiliency and support. I live in the forest. I live in 4.2 acres of a beautiful Midwest forest. And this time of the year and in the fall, well, when we have heavy winds, um, and I sit out on my back porch, I just I talk to the trees and I say just support each other. Because they're big, we've got very very mature trees, and you see them all just, and I say to them, be friends, support each other, help each other, and I think that's what this group is for me. You know, um, because for various reasons, in this pandemic that we're still in, I'm not really going out for various reasons. I'm going to the grocery store and that's it. And one of the most difficult things is not having a community, a physical community. And I think what you're providing here is a support network without, I don't want to say that in a therapeutic sense, you know what I'm saying? But you're providing a support network for those of us who are either introverted but still need a sense of community. So we can help each other be resilient. So I just want to thank you for that. And the other thing, if this is not an appropriate question, I loved at the beginning when we were doing the liver healing sound. Many of us know that there are the three different sounds associated with each organ, the Ming, the An, and the Hua. And you kind of went from the Ming to the An and the Hua, where it's vocalized, then whispered, and it's almost then just thought, if you will. If this is an appropriate question, because I've been struggling with when one should do more of the vocal sound, the whispered sound, or the thought sound. Because in yoga, we're taught with mantra that you eventually want to have that mantra just repeating in your head, you know, without even thinking about it, without even vocalizing it. And if this isn't appropriate, I just had a quick question because this is the first time that I've been with you where you've gone from the vocalization to the whisper to maybe just the thought of the healing sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a beautiful question. First, thank you so much, Peter, for all what you said. Yeah, I love this group too. It's great what we created here, and thank you so much for participating. And I think what makes it very relevant is we also share, and everybody share from their own perspective, and I really like that. And covering, you know, I think the last week we covered something that is more like politics that just arise, and I think that's very sometimes appropriate. I kind of in the past didn't want to involve things that are happening in the background, but I thought like last week it would be appropriate, and I think that makes it more relevant sometime. I think so. That was kind of nice. In terms of the sound healing, yeah, so this is a great question, and I do have the answer. So the vocalized sound, when you say the sound in a vocal, not in a whisper, it means you are related to the, it's called the obvious sound also, like if you would translate it, the obvious sound, and it would relate to the physical organ, to the jobs of the liver, cleaning the blood and what it does in the body physically. And then when the whisper sound is related to the emotional part of the liver. So that would be transforming anger, frustration, which is unexpressed anger, or irritability, into gentleness and generosity, and kind of kind of flexibility of in the emotional sense. So that would be the whisper sound. And the inaudible sound, the sound that we're not making with we're not hearing it, it would be deeper, kind of like the spiritual side of the liver. The liver, we call it the po, the soul. So our soul, you know, the liver houses the soul, you know, the heart houses the spirit. The liver is related to our soul. So it would be a little deeper. And you can think about it as things are more hidden. So the obvious sound, the sound that is vocalized, is the things that are more on the grosser level, like body, physical body. And then if you're going deeper and deeper, or like the hidden things are the emotions that you don't see them. You feel them, but you don't see them. So that's a whisper. And there's even deeper parts. And some people say that the inaudible sound is anger that has been not expressed, or is in the past. So past trauma or things like that would be the inaudible sound. So things that are even hidden even more, in like an anger that has not been released from the body, or frustration that has been not expressed. So it goes into a deeper layers of energy, when the sound goes down. And so we usually work on all levels. We start with the obvious, as you know, I think. But this is how it relates to the different the different aspect of the liver, from the physical to the spiritual. Yes, that's it's very beautiful. I love sound healing, and maybe we should do it in the beginning of every season. We'll do to the one of the same organ. That's kind of a nice thing. Okay, well, thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for coming here. Peter, did I answer your question? It was good. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, guys. It was beautiful to see you. And let's close up with a meditation for the liver again. Let's just do it again. I think it would be nice to do more of the inaudible sound. So if you will, just put your hands on the liver again, and visualize a beautiful garden, beautiful forest or garden. And with each breath, you give food, irrigation to this forest. And then start exhaling from the mouth. And we can start with a whisper if you like. Let's start with a whisper. A whisper of the sound of SH. So SH in a whisper. It's like be quiet, like somebody tells a person to be quiet in a whisper. You can think about it as a wind going through the forest. Cleansing and clearing. The sound is very calming, and that's the job. Really, what we want to do is to release stress, right? How we support the liver, we talked about it. So when we don't have stress, the liver is more happy. It doesn't have to clear it. And gradually, slowly make the sound more feeble. Until at some point, there's no sound at all. But you're still making the sound. The forest is still growing, still irrigating it with your breath. You're still sending a love. You're still being in awe of that beautiful garden inside. And it seems like with every breath, this garden or forest becomes more vibrant, stronger, happier. And just by you smiling to it and loving it, it even grows more. as much as you acknowledge its beauty, it's growing and being more beautiful. Isn't it so with everything? The canopy, and there's the grass, and there's different aspect of it. And be creative with your visualization. Place the hands down and slowly opening our eyes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So really, thank you so much for this. This is beautiful. And, I want to, invite you to class, to come to class and to practice Qigong and to see how it heals your liver too. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. We'll see you next week or in class. Bye.